Good morning, everybody. It's Melody Reels here at the Iowa Quilt Museum. It's Thursday morning, and it's time for another Facebook Live. Real quick, really quick, because today I'm going to feature one artist and 3 quilts, because I'm limited weeks. It is, if you don't know, our current exhibit is Tiny Pieces, Vast Visions. It's made up of 4 ladies, Susan Lapham, Deb Kashat, Irene Roderick, and Niraja Lorenz. And so 3 weeks and 3 days is all that we're left to have. 3 weeks, 3 days, and then this goes on somewhere else, and we don't have it anymore. So one more time, the magic number is 3. 3 is the magic number. Anyway, for those schoolhouse rock kids, 3 weeks, 3 days, and then this exhibit's gone. So I have 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I have 9. No, that's not right. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I have 9 quilts that I haven't gotten to yet. So I'm going to feature one artist today and 3 of her quilts. But anyway, before we get that, today is the second Thursday of the month. If you don't know, second Thursday of the month is Stitch In at the museum. You can come sit at these tables with other like-minded gals and work on a project and work amongst this beautiful works of art. You can knit, you can crochet, you can sew, you can needlepoint, whatever you want to bring in. You could sit out here and enjoy some company of other ladies and work on a project. That is the second Thursday of each month. Today is that second Thursday of July, and so Stitch In is today. Share Your Stash sale is a big fundraiser for us. If you have got some fabric, yarn, anything that you are not using anymore and you're tired of seeing it in your craft room, bring it over. We will take it off your hands. And then on November 8th is our Share Your Stash sale. And we will do like a big rummage sale with the items that you've donated. And all of that comes back here to the Iowa Quilt Museum to help support us. And so we can have these beautiful exhibits, keep the lights on, pay employees, that kind of stuff. So Share Your Stash sale, November 8th, taking donations now. You can become a member. I don't know if you know this, but we do offer membership, individual membership, family membership, Quilt Guild membership. Check it out on our website. Go to membership at iowaquiltmuseum.org. And lastly, before we get to Niraja, is the 2026 Iowa Quilt Festival, June 3rd through the 6th. We've already had 2 meetings. We're kicking it off and we're excited. Again, another really big fundraiser for us. If you can come and participate in a class, a lecture, the quilt retreat, or just coming and purchasing a ticket for airing of the quilts on Saturday, I couldn't thank you enough for any participation you took part of in the airing of the Iowa Quilt Festival, June 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th of 2026. Okay, enough of all that. Got that all out of the way. Tiny Pieces, Vast Vision. Today we are talking about this lady. We're going to finish out her quilts. I have 3 of her quilts we haven't looked at today. So we are going to take a look at those 3. So it's going to be kind of lengthy. I'm going to try to keep it short. She does have a website. It's nirajalorenz.com, just in case you wanted to know. You could go there and check out her other works of art. And real quick, I'll read her bio since we're focusing just on her. A daughter of an artist and a scientist, Niraja Lorenz began weaving as a teenager in Cambridge, Massachusetts after high school. With a table loom and a footlocker of yarn, she explored the U.S. in her VW van, visiting national parks and wilderness areas. Later, she studied biology and psychology. Quilting became her passion in 1994. After years of creating original pieces, she began studying the world-renowned fiber artist Nancy Crow in 2007. Her work quickly evolved, and she discovered that she had a unique visual voice. After 20 years as a research psychologist, she is now a full-time studio artist, and she lives in Oregon with her partner, Mary, and her cat. This series that we have in here particularly, I pulled up some stuff about what she wrote about this series. She says, this series is originally inspired by a kaleidoscope photo of a quilt I made. All pieces in the series are made entirely of solid colored fabric, both hand-dyed and commercial. This work can be seen in multiple dimensions, microscopic, which is what I think I see all the time, to immensity of space. Often a color and texture will initiate a new piece. While my work is rarely driven by a story or concept, as each piece unfolds, stories arise. I come to see a cross-section of an aerial view or a magnification of small particles or vastness of all of these. The series draws its name from mathematics, the chaos theory, and attractor. It is which pulls it towards, an attractor is that which pulls you toward it. Strange attractors, which is this series, have a fractal structure and repeating pattern at all dimensions. And I wanted to point that out because she says here, as a daughter of an artist and a scientist, her father was studied chaos theory. And so I feel like this is, it's kind of a little homage to him in his study. So you can purchase this book off of our website. Just go to iowaquiltsmuseum.org and go to our shop, and that is on there, as well as magnets from her quilts. So let me flip you around, and we're going to talk about Strange Attractor number 23, Brick Wall. There it is, folks. Strange Attractor number 23, Brick Wall, dimensions 60 inches high and 72 inches wide. Piece by Niraja, Lorenz, and quilted by Susan Miller. I think there's like two quilts in here, quilted by Susan, and the rest are quilted by Niraja. Quilt story, affectionately known as the Brick Wall. This piece is open to many interpretations, as there are there portals in the wall, explosions atop it, passageways to other dimensions. When I began this piece, I didn't know I was making a wall, but the coloration and proportions quickly suggested an identity. The texture of the wall was created with a technique I have often used, alternating strip-pieced lines and solid colored stripes. Okay, so once again, there is not a printed fabric in here. This is all solid. So I'm going to take you off. We're going to take a closer look at Strange Attractor number 23, Brick Wall. And I'm torn between my glasses and look how she puts these little, it's like the mortar almost, right? The lines in between the bricks. And they're all outlined with the quilting. I love this little wonky hexagon here. Let's come in and look at some of this in here. Those tiny, tiny strips. I love the not lining up the lines there, and it's just a little off there. And the piecing in here. Well, look at that. That looks like a Greek key. Look at that, Deb. That's pretty notorious in Deb's work. I love this quilting on this because it totally gives it movement. Almost like, how when lights light up, poop, 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 or it's, giving this, just a movement with the arrows, the way that's quilted. Back up a little bit for you. I'd love to hear what people think they see in this. Sky view, something in a microscope, it's just it's so open for what draws you in and what it reminds you of. And that's your life experiences, right? Okay, I'm sorry, but we're gonna move on, or we take a closer look. This is Strange Attractor number 23, Brick Wall. Now we're gonna take a little road trip. Here we go. Don't get too distracted by that wonderful piece right there. We'll talk about that one next week. That's Irene Roderick's. I think it's called Hello, How Are You? But we're gonna move and we're gonna talk about this one. This is Strange Attractor number 14. Big Yellow. And there is, I think it's Blue Splash or Blue, okay, I'm gonna get wrong. I think it's Red Splash and Big Blue that we've already talked about. Red Splash, we talked, I think that was Strange Attractor number 18. That was one of the I think that was the very first video I did. And then the second one I did of Niraja's was the Big Blue, which is back by my desk. This is Strange Attractor number 14, Big Yellow, dimensions 80 inches high and 80 inches wide. Pieced and quilted by Niraja, Lorenz. Strange Attractor number 14, Big Yellow, continues to be one of my favorite pieces, perhaps because of the joy I felt the day I completed the top. I constructed separate hexagonal units and then rearranged them numerous times until it felt cohesive. Then I created units to fill the gaps. Yesterday we had quite a few people in, and this was the favorite yesterday. This of hers, like a lot of people just really getting in close and looking at this one and just comparing it to other famous artists and her work, and just how there are so many people drawn to it. And I think that's so interesting because each day it's something different, and each day, you know, what people are drawn to, and to hear why. So let's take a closer look at Strange Attractor number 14, Big Yellow. I feel like when I see these pieces here, this or this, it makes me think of like a crystallization in a microscope where something has like crystallized and kind of spanned out. But all these little boxes, I can't tell you how many times they have been compared to Gustav Klimt. And then I had a gentleman in yesterday that compared her work to another artist, and God bless it if I can remember who it was. But same idea, a lot of colored boxes to create, you know, something big and wonderful. Again, no printed fabric. These are all hand dyed or factory dyed fabrics, solid pieces to create this wonderful big, and I just, you know, you have something so bright up here, and then you kind of have, she tones it down in here, a little subdued with this piece in here. I love that these look, because of the quilting, that becomes wavy. And again, she quilted this, and you know, I had to look at her quilting because at first I thought it was all uniformed, and then you see things like this. Like I thought, oh, it's like the matchstick, but it's not. And then she even uses colored thread. You can't tell, but that's yellow here. And I believe there's almost like a hot pink or a red in here, threading. And then the way she quilts here, it gives it, you know, again, movement. Look at the movement that quilting can give your quilt. That box is really interesting because of the way she's quilted in here. I love all these little pieces. I wish I could I need like a little step stool. I'm afraid if I step on there we go. You can see some of this up here. I had a wonderful lady stop by from Nebraska and tell me that she watches these videos, and she was very sweet. But she said the same thing that the other lady had said to me the other day was, I watch your videos, I love them, they're great, thank you for doing that, I love seeing all these wonderful works of art. And then they both said, and it was, this has to be seen in person. The videos, as much as I can do and give you a close-up on my little phone here, you just, the color, the vibrance, the quilting, to see it in person is just, it's a total different experience. And they both said that they were so happy they came to see it in person. I love this piece here for some reason. I just love the offsetting of it. It's very, that whole chaos, I feel like, you know, is just represented in her piecing. Oh, look at this piece down here. Okay, we could keep looking at this all day. But we have one more quilt to get to finish off Niraja's collection here at the Iowa Quilt Museum. Another road trip, not far this time. It's almost a neighbor. We're gonna pass by Playland number 6, which we featured last week. There's the beach taking you back to the beach, but we're gonna come over here to this one, Strange Attractor number 13, Sky View. I am drawn to this one. I hate to say anything's my favorite because they're all my favorites, but this is Strange Attractor number 13, Sky View, 73 inches high by 76 inches wide, piece by Niraja Lorenz, quilted by Susan Miner. Oh, Susan quilted this one too? Okay, so 3 are quilted in here by Susan and 3 are quilted by Niraja. Strange Attractor number 13, Sky View, was the first in the series of 4 large pieces in which I explored magnification by examining forms and textures from various distances. Initially, I imagined this would be the largest scale in the series, but as it progressed, I worked with even bigger structures, and this became a mid-scale. This quilt was quilted by Susan Miner. The reason why I think I'm drawn to this one is my mother had a quilted comforter with these tones and colors in it, so I think that's kind of why I'm drawn to this one. It's very warm, and I feel like warm, rich colors are kind of inviting and also more comforting, where Big Yellow, or was it Big Yellow or Yellow Splash? Big Yellow that we just saw is exciting and vibrant and colorful and just, you know, kind of like get you going and exciting. This one brings you down in its tone and its colors. Again, though, you've got the movement here, and with this, I don't know what we're calling these pieces. It's almost like a boomerang, but it's a tri boomerang, I don't know. I was going to try to be clever, and I just can't come up with anything. But anyway, but the quilting in it as well gives that movement in it as well. Let me just kind of just let you take that all in for a minute. I also feel like, too, this here, the way that she did these colors in here, from a distance, it also gives it a blurred vision of movement as well. And when it's up in here, and in here, and in here, like, how interesting that, you know, I'm always talking about quilting and it giving it movement, but look at how the use of color, the gradation of her color in here and in here, kind of gives this blurred vision of it also spinning, you know. So the use of her piecing and color choices, I just love doing these videos, because then I get to focus and go, oh, wow, I really love these stripes that she did in here too. Okay. Let me take you off, and then you can take a closer look. Let's look at these real quick. How wonderful is that? And then when you get a closer look and you see the definitive lines and the blue, like when you're standing back, and maybe it's because I have my readers on, it just kind of all blends together and gives a blurred vision of movement. But you've got these wonderful coil-looking stitching in here, and it alternating between just leaving it solid and then stitching. Got these great cross X's in here. Let's look at the star quilting in this. What an interesting choice. I mean, because, you know, you don't have your corners don't line up, right? But she's created this star effect in here. It gives it almost like it's bursting. I keep saying it, but, you know, with it being off-centered like that, or not lined up, it kind of gives it again. Say it with me, everybody. Movement. I love the quilt. I love the piecing in here. Can you see the shadows? So it's kind of stacked over the other one, and then it goes this way up so that you don't see the shadows, but you see them here. And then you've got some swirls. More stars. Oh, I like this down here. How fun is that? Again, 3 weeks and 3 days, and then these are gone and they move on. So if you're close to Winterset, Iowa, make a road trip. Come on over and come see this before it's gone. I wish I could tell you where it's going. I want to say the East Coast, maybe to Virginia. I'll find out for sure. So if you don't make it, you can follow where it's going to be next, and maybe it'll come closer to you where you can have an opportunity to see it. because it's really worth it. Okay, I know my little bench I'm standing on is gonna come to an end, and I don't wanna embarrass myself and fall off, but take a look at all that up there. I love this piece here too. Okay, let's back up. There you go. That completes all 6 works of Niraja's exhibit here. All 6 of her pieces. 3 of them were done today. I can't tell you how much I treasured her and Susan and Deb coming, and to hear them talk about their process, about how they come up with what they do, and they were just wonderful human beings on top of it all. Yeah, word of the day is movement. Yeah, see, when I come back out, I don't know, maybe it's because I do, but to see, you know, you don't really notice the blue in here because it just kind of gives this blurred effect. But Niraja, she is on Facebook, she is on Instagram. I encourage you to go look at her photos and kind of scroll through, because when she puts all these little pieces together, she does not sew them. They are pinned on her board. And then she doesn't sew until she absolutely has to. So sometimes she'll do a cross view like this from this angle of all the pins that are on the board. And when she runs out, she said, I have a decision to make, to either go buy more pins or actually start piecing it together and taking the pins and using them in other spots. I mean, when you know that and you see all these tiny pieces. So she takes those photos. You can go onto her Instagram and Facebook, and you can see those there. Again, this is Niraja Lorenz out of Eugene, Oregon, who fell in love with quilting in 1994 and has just has done amazing works of art. So I'll just real quick before I'll do a quick run over one more time. So here is Skyview Strange Attractor number 13. Strange Attractor number 14, big yellow. That's a great one too. Total different vibe, right? Something a little more subdued, a little warm, a little more inviting. This one is something exciting and colorful and bright with all those yellows. And then we're gonna come back this way. And this is Strange Attractor number 23, Brick Wall. This is the one we started with. Wendy, the artist name is Niraja, Niraja, Lorenz, Lorenz. I don't know why. Okay, anyway, Niraja Lorenz, and she is out of Eugene, Oregon. A few weeks ago, I did, when they were here for the quilt festival, they all talked amongst themselves and talked about their work, and she talked about her schedule, and I get up in the morning, I go straight to the studio, I work on the quilt that I'm working on, till about lunchtime, I have lunch, and then I have office hours. I mean, this is her job, this is her full-time business, and you can tell, and I'm so thankful that she's in that field, because then we get to see these wonderful works of art. Okay, everybody, I have taken enough of your time. Thank you so much for sticking it out and seeing Niraja's beautiful works of art. Next week, we're gonna feature the last of Irene Roderick's. The week after that, I'm gonna combine Deb and Susan's. And then the week after that is the final one, where we'll just kind of recap everybody, and then they're gone. So 3 weeks, 3 days. You have some time still. Come to the Iowa Quilt Museum, Winterset, Iowa. It's a great little town, just 30 minutes from West Des Moines. We got the John Wayne Birthplace Museum. We've got 6 covered bridges, a beautiful courthouse square, a lot of history, beautiful little town. Come see us and come see these wonderful quilts. All right, everybody, have a wonderful weekend, and I will see you next week with a couple more quilts. Okay, bye, everybody.